The world is digital. That's big news, right? No, it's not really big news. Like, we all know that. The publishing world is no stranger to all the changes going on in the digital space. But with so many opportunities to publish online, it seems easier than ever to publish a finished book and get it out into the world. But should every book be exclusively online? Absolutely not. Each book is different, and each book requires different distribution strategies based on your needs, your goals, your audience's awareness of where to find your book, and what you want to happen after they're done reading it. One of the biggest mistakes that authors make is thinking that the only way to publish a book is online, and they forget about all the other places that they could be distributing their book. So I've included a one-page book planner in the link below to help you outline your book and smooth out the process as you begin to write, and I want to get that in your hands right now. So go ahead and download that free copy, and then we'll dive into distribution options. So the first thing I want to talk about is ways to get your book printed. This is assuming that you want to have a printed book and not simply an ebook, and I always recommend that every author has both pieces available, both types of books available for their audience, because there's plenty of people who want a print book. I only read print books. Reading on a screen hurts my eyes. There's plenty of other people who don't want to carry books around with them. They only want to have books in an ebook format. So you need to have both. But there's two options that you have when you are actually printing books. And one of those options is print on demand. And what that means is somebody goes to a website, they go to Amazon, they go someplace that you've given them, and they click on a link and they order. And when that book is ordered, it is printed and shipped out. Every book is printed one at a time. This is a little bit more expensive than the other option available to you. However, those expenses are offset by the fact that you don't have to store hundreds and hundreds or thousands of books in your basement or your garage or a warehouse somewhere. So print on demand makes a lot of sense for a lot of people and a lot of different books. The other way that you can print books is through offset print runs. What this means is that you're going to go to a printer, and there's plenty of them available both in America and overseas, and different prices and different prints and different options for covers, and all these different printers have different options for all of these things. So you're going to want to make sure that you choose a printer that's going to create the best book for you. But in general, offset printing means that you're going to order a few hundred books or a few thousand books, maybe 100,000 books if you have a really huge distribution network, and make those available through a warehouse or a distributor. They need to be stored someplace, and they need to have somebody in charge of taking orders in every day and then shipping them out to where they need to go. Now, it would be great to do print on demand all the time. It makes the most sense, right? Why should I have to pay to print books when they haven't been ordered yet? But some markets require you to be available through wholesalers and through those wholesale catalogs. Bookstores order through catalogs that go through wholesalers. Also, academic markets, different places, retail outlets, all of these places that need to order your book in order to sell them themselves need to be able to go through wholesale catalogs, which means that your book needs to be available through a distribution network. So let's talk about places that you may not have thought of to distribute your book. What am I talking about with distribution? I'm talking about how to get your book to your readers. Amazon is one way, your website is one way, but there's hundreds of other ways that you can get your book out to your intended audience and your intended reader and your intended clients and customers that you might have never thought of. So let's go through some of these right now. One of the biggest markets that people forget about is the academic market. So schools. This is talking about elementary schools, even kindergartens, depending on if they can read or not, all the way up through high school and universities. And that also includes online universities and homeschool opportunities. All of those different markets order through wholesaler catalogs. They need to be done through offset print runs. Unless you have special arrangements with those particular groups and you are able to ship them directly to them, that's an option, but most of the time you're going to want to go through an offset print run through a distributor. Another market people can often forget about is the military. Military orders books for training purposes. They order books for their own libraries. They order books that can be distributed through their PX system, which is their stores for the families that are living on a base. They can be ordered for overseas. They can be ordered for in country. There's all kinds of different ways that the military and the government in general. The government is a huge source to sell your books through if you go through and all of the requirements for them to order books from you. In order to do that, you're going to have to get special licenses and special designations. It's not a straightforward process, but when you figure it out, those people can be fantastic assets, and they're amazing readers for your books. Another option that you have that you may not have thought about if all you're working on is Amazon and a website is a retail outlet. Now, the first thing that comes to mind is bookstores, right? You have a book, let's get it into a bookstore. But the fact is that bookstores are the worst places to sell books. Why? Because you've got 10,000 other books to compete with, and the person has to actually go into a bookstore and have your book in mind to go and buy that book. And they have all these other distractions. They have all these other books that they could be going and purchasing as well. And it's really easy to just get lost in the shuffle. But there's other retail outlets where you don't have to compete with a lot of other books that might be a really great fit for you. Maybe a boutique is a good place to have your book. Maybe a gift shop. And a gift shop can be anything from a gift shop that's out on a popular tourist strip, to a gift shop in a museum or an aquarium, to a gift shop at a national park. There's gift shops all over the place. And so if you have the kind of book that would do well in a gift shop, that can be an amazing opportunity for you to sell lots and lots of books and attract lots of customers online to your website, to your sales funnels, to whatever else it is that you're selling through your book. Another place that I want to talk about is libraries. People think nobody goes to libraries anymore, or really, like, how am I going to find customers in libraries? They're just reading books because they want to get the information for free. The fact is that there's more libraries than there are bookstores in this country. Libraries are thriving. People love to go to libraries. They love taking out books. And the library industry associations have done studies and shown that a great majority of people who go to a library and check out a book that they really, really like, one, especially in nonfiction, one that's really useful, they will then go to the bookstore or go to Amazon and order a book for themselves that they can keep in their house. So it's not just that, people are getting your book for free and you're not selling as many. It's that you're making it available to a wider audience. And if your book is designed to inspire, educate, and sell, those people who get that book for free are more likely to be able to go to your website and still become your clients and customers, even if they didn't buy the book. Now, libraries, there's more than just your public library. Yes, you can have, your city might have a library, you might have a library system. Libraries are parts of networks that can be, there might be 100 libraries in the library network in your state. So there's plenty of public libraries to choose from, but there's other kinds of libraries you might not have thought of, including school libraries. Again, that goes from kindergarten right on up through universities. All schools have libraries. Also, this is one you may never have thought of, but prisons have their own libraries. And very often, it sounds really strange, but they're great places to put your book because those people need to learn. They need to be educated. They need to be inspired. If your message is one of redemption or transformation, a prison might be a fantastic place to sell your book. If you're trying to teach people how to start their own businesses and you want to reach people as if they're at the bottom of where they are, like they're at rock bottom, and you want to help them build a business, where else is rock bottom but in a prison, honestly, right? Again, those are situations where you have to go through special distributors and you have to kind of have special designations in order to get into those systems, but they're not terribly difficult to do. And if you focus your efforts on those places, you can get your book into places that other competitors' books, they may not have ever even thought of it. The final place I want to talk about is corporations and companies. Corporate special sales means that a company will order your book either from you or from your distributor in bulk. And that might be 10 books, it might be 10,000 books. And they use them for a lot of different purposes. A corporation might buy your book in bulk to put in their own libraries. Many corporations have libraries, they have book clubs. They want to encourage their employees to learn more and to become more productive, so they have their own libraries. A lot of corporations will purchase books to give to their employees as gifts or as training materials. And so if your book teaches an employee how to do something, how to be more productive, how to handle time management, how to work at home more effectively as a remote employee, all of those things are great training materials. And if your book can do that for them, a corporation may buy your book in bulk. Now, what happens if your book inspires, educates, and sells, and a corporation is excited about buying your book for their employees? Do you think maybe they might hire you to speak? Do you think maybe they might hire you to come in and offer workshops and do other projects that you have to come in and charge more money for as a consultant, maybe as an outside vendor? Yes, of course they would. So it's a great way to take your book and get into a corporate environment where you may want to offer your additional products and services. Another thing that corporate special sales is great for is speaking engagement. If they love your book and they have an opening for keynote speaker or openings for workshops or panels, they may well just contact you out of the blue and say, hey, we love your book. We'd really like you to come and speak at our organization. I really encourage you to think outside the box, think outside the bookstore, think outside the internet about all the other places where books might be acquired. Not necessarily purchased, maybe it's giving away, maybe it's at a library where they're borrowing and then returning the books. But it doesn't matter, because if your book inspires, educates, and sells, all you need to do is get it into people's hands. And then your book and your words and your message and your heart is going to do the rest of the selling, and those people are going to go to your website and they're going to engage with you in all the other ways that you offer them. I love helping our clients figure out the best online and offline markets for their books. If you decide that you're going to cut corners and take the easy way out and just stick with Amazon or just stick with your website, that's fine, but I really encourage you to get serious about writing a great book that turns you into the thought leader in your niche and changes people's lives. And I want to give you some strategies that guarantees your success for you and your book. So just click on the link below and get your copy of my book, The Profitable Business Author, and learn everything you need to know about writing a book that inspires, educates, and sells.